Good afternoon, and was a warm, bright and breezy day. It is Tuesday the 25th of April. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And a cat on my lap, a cat who is not ours. And a parcel to unbox. Or at least I think it's going to be a parcel. It's actually going to be a book because you can tell by the packaging. So yeah, it's from World of Books. That's kind of a giveaway. So let's find out what is in here. Really, this plastic is doesn't want to give. There we go. We'll tear through it. And oh, sorry, cat. Oh, he's on the move. Oh, he's going to give up on me. And what I've got here is a copy of The Stranger Times by Caimh McDonnell, which I've had to go and get a copy of because it's in my forthcoming, as I sit here, episode of the book club. So I've got to sit and read this. Looking forward to it. So yeah, this is there are dark forces at work in our world, and in Manchester in particular. So thank God The Stranger Times is on the hand to report them. A weekly newspaper dedicated to the weird and wonderful, but mostly the weird. It is the go-to publication for the unexplained and inexplicable. At least that's the pitch. The reality is rather less suspicious. The editor is a drunken, foul-mouthed and foul-tempered husk of a man who thinks little of the publication he edits. His staff is a ragtag group of misfits. And as for the assistant editor, well, that job's a revolving door, and it just has revolved to reveal Hannah Willis, who's got problems of her own. When tragedy strikes in her first week on the job, The Stranger Times is forced to do some serious investigating. What they discover leads to a shocking realisation. Some of the stories they previously dismissed as nonsense are in fact terrifyingly real. Soon they come face to face with darker forces than they could ever imagined. The first novel from Caimh McDonnell, pen name of Caimh McDonnell, The Stranger Times combines this distinctive dark wit with his love of the weird and wonderful to deliver a joyous celebration of the truth, how truth can be really stranger than fiction. So, that's the blurb. And so what we've got is not knowing very much about the book. It's kind of like one of those assignments again. You need to read this. I'm going, okay, fine, I need to read this. This sounds like it's essentially a cross with elements of horror, but primarily urban fantasy, and all in Manchester. What's going to be interesting is not a city I know particularly well. I do visit a couple of times a year, and hopefully this will bring it alive. And that's what the urban fantasy should kind of do, because it's set in the urban environment. It's typically set in one environment. So Rivers of London, of course, is set mostly in London. Occasional excursion to regions beyond. I'm expecting the same kind of thing for this, set in Manchester. So yeah, I think this will be an interesting book to add to the Urban Fantasy Library. And so you saw this as inspiration and source material for your your urban fantasy role-playing games. I mean, obviously, Liminal by Paul Mitchener is the most obvious choice for here in the UK because it's specifically set in the UK. It's set in the modern day. Lots of different factions: werewolves, the Fae, collegians of magic, and so on, and then freelancers along the way. As well as a police department dedicated to investigating the weird and the wonderful and preventing any knowledge of it falling into wider hands, any confirmation, that sort of thing. So that's worth it. There's an urban fantasy source book for the hero system, which is very good. And then you're looking at things like, there's lots of them. There's a Fate one for the... Stormbringer, the guy set in Chicago whose name escapes me. Always happens this way. I'll remember, once I've done the video. Dresden Files, that's it. and so on. So yes, the Dresden Files is obviously set in Chicago in America, but usually you can take those mechanics and set up your own Dresden Files style setting here in the UK, and the same again with Rivers of London, of course, which has its own role-playing game coming out very soon. So yeah, not actually very much to really kind of talk about, with this. Looks an interesting read. Hope it's not going to take too long, as I've got plenty of other things to read at the moment. But it'd be nice to read some fiction. Anyway, so that's Stranger Times by Caimh McDonnell for my book club. Hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you see me out here with a package containing a book or game, in this case a novel, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing the Nook. We'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.